Hello, everybody. Welcome to the very first episode of Systems Are Messy, where we talk about the reality of project management and what our own personal systems look like. For this episode, I have my very dear friend, Emily Wise, who is a virtual assistant to many, many podcast and YouTube stars will say. Oh, she's laughing. Good. We're off to a good start.
Yeah. Oh, I laugh all the time.
So, all right. I have questions, but I'm gonna share this. Oh, my mouse. Okay, let's share this and. Aha.
Look at that.
So, this is your planner here.
Yeah, that is my planner. It's the Get Shit Done planner.
I like it. It's pretty.
I do too. And my one for this year has a little different cover, which is because it's almost 2020. So, yeah.
Yeah. I like 2019 here. Okay.
Yeah.
So, this looks like a horizontal weekly layout. Is there a monthly?
There is a monthly. I didn't include it because one of the things I do.
That's so hard to black out. Just tell me, is it a Sunday start or a Monday start?
On the monthly?
Uh-huh.
I gotta look. Monday start.
Monday start. This is an important question for planner people. I know because I am a Monday start person. And I inevitably find Sunday start planners, and I cannot deal with a monthly calendar that starts on a Sunday because it just puts my whole thing off. I have to have my weekend in a block together, or I don't know what I'm doing. I lose.
Well, and it's weird because it would be weird if it were Sunday start because the inside starts on Monday.
So that's a very American thing in planners and how we lay them out. This does not happen with European planners or Japanese planners. It is very quintessentially American. We'll argue possibly puritanical because the week starts on Sunday.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Which
God said.
And it's supposed to be a day of rest. And seriously, the day I sit on my ass all day is typically Saturday.
So.
Yeah. That's my rest day. But that doesn't always work out.
Saturday is frequently my favorite rest day too. Sunday, start of the week. I don't know. There are many arguments to be made for Sunday as the start of the week, but either way, I do not jive with Sunday start planners. So please.
No, and this one actually, I really like it because you can see it goes Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of the space next to Saturday with the checklist, it has Sunday next to it. So those spaces are smaller. So it's very much a work planner. Because I try not to do a lot of things on the weekends. Those are the days where I don't know, clean up my house or cook a big meal or binge watch a TV show with my husband while we ignore our children for a couple hours.
Meanwhile, I have had many moments in my life where the weekends have been active work days, and I loathe and despise those types of planner grids because I can't fit a full day into a half.
Yeah, I try not to work on the weekends because there's just too many. We have 5 dogs, a cat, 2 kids, and a husband in our house. So
no, you need weekends off, I'd say.
Yeah, I do.
All right, so you also use online project management specifically with clients. So this is a board for a podcast for a client. Tell me about it.
Yep. So where my paper planner is literally just for me, that is where I map out what I have to do. This is where I communicate with my client on what we're doing. So this is one, he did not have any, he was keeping everything on a Google Doc. And so you'll see, I sent you a picture of one of those Trello cards. I've blurred out everything that is
here we go.
Because,
the Trello card itself. Okay.
Yep. And so he used to keep all of this on a running Google Doc, one episode after another.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I said, well, I think we can do this a little better. And what if we try doing it this way? And Trello allowed us to make you can make your own checklists and things.
Mhm.
And that way I don't have to email him every time I post on social media or do something. I can stick it on the card, check it off. He can look at it. Less back and forth.
I love it.
Me too.
So,
and he likes it. And that's what's really important, is that he likes it and knows how to use it.
right. So tell me more about how you manage the client interaction with project management software.
So clients generally aren't great at project management, and that's why they're clients. And I like to be very organized when I work, because I don't like having to click on 50 different things to do one task, because I want to get it done quickly and efficiently. So usually some of my clients are awesome and they already have project management software. There's one client who had Trello for his podcast, and that's kind of where I got the idea. I knew what Trello was. I saw how he used it, and I'm like, oh, I love this. I'm doing this for this guy. And there was one that used Abaza, and that's more of like a project management from a billing standpoint, which was cool. So if you need to track how much you're spending on a certain project, that one's wonderful. But not everybody needs to pay for that, and I like the fact that Trello is free.
Yeah, I mean, even Trello Gold is like $5 a month, and it gives you a significant number of upgrades that really allow you to do a lot of things with it. The only thing Trello doesn't do that I wish, well, Trello does a lot of things that I wish it did better.
Yeah.
But in particular, it does not do timeline management. You do not have the ability to see things on a rolling calendar over time, which can be a problem.
Yeah, it has like a monthly calendar thing, but they go away.
Right.
So just, for these purposes, for things where you're creating, and I do the same thing for a client's YouTube channel. He put out 90 consecutive days of video a day.
Oh my goodness.
Now we do a video a week. And I had to manage that.
Fun!
It was so much fun, and it was way too much to blur out and stuff, so I just didn't send that to you. But because as much as I love playing around with photos and stuff on the computer, I just didn't have time for it. But we did the same thing. We did stuff we just recorded. Of course, we had 2 different editors, because the one editor worked on a slower timeline than we had anticipated, and we started running out of time. So we kept track of which editor they were sent to, if they were done editing and approved and I needed to upload them.
All of which you can do in Trello, because you can have assignees on the board, you can have independent checklists, you can have independent due dates. So yeah. Yeah,
and we put up some custom fields so that all we had to do was look at the card and see what day they went live, where they were, when they were posted to his different social media accounts, things like that.
I love it.
And because we had 90 new videos up there, we had to categorize them.
Right.
We came up with a preset category, and that's on the front of the card. So when we want to make them into playlists, we just drag them around, and I like it. Oh,
that's cool.
Yeah. So I'm like, look, this is how easy it is for you to organize this into playlists. Because he used to keep everything on a Google sheet, which was fine until there were 90 of them.
Right.
So
systems work really well until they don't anymore, and you have to find something else. So
and when they get big, well, and here's an example of systems not working. October was busy for me. It was very busy. I had my dad here. I had some other stuff going on. I ended up just not managing my time well at all. And there was a bunch of things that I just didn't have time for. And part of that is because I actually switched over to Trello from my paper planner, and then found that I was overloading my days and I had no sense of how long everything was going to take me. And I went back to my paper, because there's only a certain number of slots that I'm allowed to write on.
So that actually was my next question. What do you do when you don't manage everything? And I think for a lot of us, switching systems provides that kind of shock. right?
Mhm.
Like now I have to evaluate how I'm doing things differently because it fits into this system differently.
Mhm.
Paper to digital definitely provides that translation for me. And I am a hardcore digital planner, but when I'm struggling, I'll print out planner pages and just
Yeah.
sit down with a pen and go, okay, what am I doing?
And I write everything, and I get to pick different colors, and my
Yes.
pens are erasable.
Frictions. I've
Yeah.
got one right in front. They are
Dude.
the best ever. So
Ah!
okay, so this is what you learn. Systems nerds like erasable pens.
Oh yeah.
That's the message I'm going to take away from this episode.
Yes. Yes. Because sometimes I don't always get stuff done, or an appointment is canceled because I have everything on there. Like the person's name I didn't blur out was my son, Gabe. He now is on swim team. And that was a new thing for my day that I didn't want to forget. And then he went and got a job. So now I have to pick him up from school and take him to work, which is a new thing that I don't want to forget. And I don't like alerts on my phone because I usually turn my phone on silent so it doesn't bother me, so I miss them.
Right.
So I wrote that down in there. But if his appointment gets canceled, I hate having things crossed out. It looks messy. I like to erase them.
So erasables, yes, yeah. I agree. Erasable, everything.
But I even put like what I'm going to make for dinner on there. So that's my meal planner, my appointment tracker, I have to do this stuff. And there's something very relaxing about on Friday writing down everything I have to do the next week.
Okay. So tell me more, actually, that's the next question, about how you review and process. So do you have an end of week? Do you have a beginning of week? How do you do all that?
So on Friday is pretty much my last work day. I try very, very hard not to work on weekends. Sometimes if I don't get something done during the week and it needs to be done, of course I'm going to do it on a weekend. Sometimes people will ask me if they're having a weekend webinar, and I'll go. It's not a big deal. But I try hard not to work on weekends. So on Friday, I sit down, I look at my week, and I'm like, okay, what did I not get done? What did I forget? What did I do extra? What have I been tacking on lately that should be a regular thing that I need to set a day to do this? Kind of a constant review, but really at the end of the week on Friday afternoon, then it's like it closes the week and I'm done. Like I've left the office.
Right.
Because my office is in my house, so I can't leave it.
Yeah,
I want to do a chore.
Work at home is a tough thing to do. These are curtains is literally the route that I have chosen because I can close them and have an office and then open them and it's all gone now. So
we have a baby gate up to keep the dogs out of here, and that's about it.
You pull the baby gate down.
Yeah, we leave it up because I don't want we have new puppies and they chew on cords, and I don't want having puppies chewing on a computer cord that I actually need to work. So they just stay out. But this was our living room. That's my front door behind me, and my husband is a part-time student in addition to working full-time. So his computer desk is over there in the corner, and then I homeschool my 7-year-old, so her desk is right next to me. So this is just a workspace, and when we're not in it,
nobody's in it.
No, I purposely don't have a laptop so that I can't work in front of the TV. That way I don't drag it with me.
Is separation. It's important to me.
And this is the very front of the house. It's not connected to the kitchen, and the bedrooms are upstairs. The living room, we have to go down a step in the hallway. So there's really nothing else besides the hallway that connects to this room. So it's very easy to be separated from everything. And
I like that.
I do too.
I like that a lot.
I mean, I could hear the dogs doing their thing if they're up, but I think you just heard them going out the dog door. But yeah.
So tell me what you wish you did better.
Time management is definitely something I'm always working on. I'm not a morning person, but I do really like getting up with my husband before he goes to work, and he has to leave at 6. So that's been our thing is I get up and I used to go back to bed, but now my son goes to school at 7 because it's jazz band season 2. So they have to go be there early for jazz band. So, and by then my dogs have to be fed and my 7-year-old has to be schooled. And then I have to start checking emails. And it's like, I am like tired until about 3 in the afternoon is when I finally wake up. So for me, it used to be I'd sit for a while, and I really had to train myself not to sit for a while too much because I wouldn't get anything done until afternoon or evening. And then I decided I was going to save some stuff at nighttime, and so my husband and I could be in the same room together while he was doing homework. He's distracting.
Partners always are. We love them and we want to spend time with them, but at the end of the day, they take away from work time.
Yeah, and I'm distracting to him too. So, like it's really hard not to wad up pieces of paper and like throw them at him just to annoy him. Or say, hey babe, check this out. Or I'll start laughing at somebody's YouTube video I'm putting online or something, and it's like, okay, I know he's trying to read, so we probably shouldn't do that.
Canceling headphones.
Yeah, I have earbuds right now. So yeah, one day I will. I have my son's PlayStation ones that had the nice little mic on them. They broke. And I don't have computer speakers hooked up because it's one more thing on my desk.
I'll send you a link to these. These are they're $20. And I already have a pair unopened, ready to go for the inevitable time when one of my children breaks these. But we used these for our podcast until we upgraded our mics. They're fairly comfortable on the ear. I will send you a link. They are Logitech. They are $20.
I like Logitech stuff. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Because I have these other headphones that are just headphones that are pretty good. But I switch back and forth, so when the insides of my ears get uncomfortable, I'll put the headphones on. So I've been kind of cutting down the length of my meetings too.
That's helpful. Nicer on the ears.
Nicer on the ears and better for my time management, because if somebody wants to talk to me for 3 hours, it's exhausting. I am not an extrovert that loves talking to people. I work at home because I don't like being around a lot of people and having a ton of interaction. So I'm very good at working on my own. So interaction wipes me out and it's so draining and I'm just exhausted. Like I used to go take a nap after these meetings sometimes because I just couldn't do anything. So yeah.
We're getting better.
Yeah, I am. I'm getting better. And realizing that paper was my friend was a big step. Like I thought maybe Trello, and I tried to put it in Notion for a while, would help. And then I'm like, no.
We all need different systems. What we use is very personal. And I think that's one of the reasons that what people use to plan fascinates me so much. So I use this service called FocusMate. For $4 a month, you can get matched up with an internet random person for an hour and you work with them. I fucking love this thing. It's fantastic. So you get a work buddy for an hour. And my thing is that I always like to ask what people are using as a planner. The answer is never the same. It's never the same. And it fascinates me that we all need project management, but we all come to it from such completely different places. So what do you do really well?
Organize things.
Okay.
Seriously, so I've talked about the clients that were keeping things on Google Docs or a Google Sheet, or some just didn't know how to keep them. You and I worked together once on finding out metrics for an online community. And when it comes to things like that and needing to organize things and have a way to present data to somebody, I love that. Spreadsheets are like my favorite thing in the whole world. I love data entry.
I will tell you that
We'll hate
client loved those metrics, by the way, and still talks about how he's using them. So,
yay! I think he forgot about them because I showed them to him last week and he was all tickled. And he's like, I love this. This is so cool. And I'm like,
see?
Okay.
They can't live without you. They just
No.
can't live without you.
No, and I love that too. I've had people's wives thank me for having their husbands have time for them now, because they weren't doing all this stuff by themselves. And it's like, oh, you're welcome.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Organization. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's and I never ever thought that was something I would ever want to do. My house is fairly cluttered. I cleaned up today. So I had a table behind me with a bunch of crap on it.
And have that on my video about project management, can I? No.
No. Well, and that's the thing. Sometimes you need to clean everything. When I let my desk get cluttery, I have to clean it off so I can focus because I get too sidetracked. And it's the same thing with project management. If you're using a tool that has too much going on and you get lost in it, it's not going to work for you.
Yes, the tool is only as good as the work you're willing to put into it. My personal Achilles heel is printed recipes. I don't actually cook with them. I've been cooking for so many years that like I don't need a recipe, but I use them when I plan menus.
Yeah.
But I only use them for the one thing. So I'll print them out. There is now, I am not even kidding you, a 4-inch high stack of printed recipes that need to be hole punched and filed on top of my printer so that I can use them for menu planning. Everybody's got their thing. We all have the thing.
You're going to laugh at my recipes. I have a freaking binder with page protectors, and I put them in the page protectors.
I love it.
And dividers. So they're divided into main dishes or soup or crock pot or cake. And then
so what you're telling me is I need to have you over for a party and have you organize my recipes for me. Done.
You feed me wine, I'm cool. Like, okay. I'll come do it. It's only a 4-hour drive. So I got to take a trip to the zoo anyway.
I'm down.
We'll just do it.
For this. It's fantastic.
And then my dividers, though, because I'm lazy, so my dividers have pockets in them, so that since I don't want to do it right now, when I feel like putting it in a page protector a month from now, I can, but it's at least in the right category.
There you go.
So I can stick it in there.
It works. Yeah.
Because that's another thing. I've had to account for my distractions, and sometimes, I'm lazy. I'm busy. Like there's things that
I think the best systems accommodate inherent laziness. No?
Yeah, I think they do.
We're all lazy in certain ways, and the reason I build systems, the reason I've perfected them, is so that I have the ability to be lazy. My stack of menu recipes here, they don't do me a lot of good on my printer right now, but it's because I've cultivated that system to where I spend a couple of hours on the weekend batch cooking, and then I don't cook the rest of the week. We'll put things together, everything comes together in 15, 20 minutes. I love that, but that's a system that took me a long ass time to build.
I have tried to do that, and when I worked outside of the home, and I was working 60 hours a week, I did that, but I hated it because I'm that type of person. Where do you want to go eat? And I don't know until I'm halfway there what I feel like. Drives my husband nuts. And it's the same thing, like every couple of days I'll ask him, what do you want for dinner? I don't know, what do you want? I said, that's not helpful. I asked you because I have no idea. And so you need to tell me because I don't know what I'm in the mood for. But you always say that you don't want what I suggest. I know, that's because I realize when you say it, I don't want it. So
but I needed the suggestion first. Yeah. No, that's a bad idea. I did.
Yeah, and it's not always that way. Sometimes I make stuff you suggest, and it's really good. So, and then I make it again for like a month in a row. But yeah, so that was why I couldn't do the batch cooking. We even bought a freezer.
Not every system works for everybody.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You have to find. Okay, have you heard of carbon?
No, carbon.
Oh, it's carbon with a K.
Okay.
And it's seriously, I get really excited. I really nerd out over it because it's amazing. But it's for accounting firms.
Okay.
So I worked with this online all remote team accounting firm for less than a month because they were disastrous. But the cool thing that I learned was carbon is Karbon, and it was made by these Australian people. So all the tutorials have this really cool accent, but it's your one-stop shop. Your email goes into there. Your CRM is in there. Your project management is in there. It's a Kanban board, kind of like Trello, where you can move stuff around. It has templates in there for tasks, so onboarding a new accounting client or doing monthly taxes. And you can make your own templates for these things. And you can assign little things to people. You're not assigning a card, you're assigning a specific task.
So how does it compare to Dubsado, say, or other?
Dubsado, so because I've only been at this for 2 years, so I'm still learning all this stuff.
I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, it's so nice because you don't have to click on a million different things. They use, Dropbox, so you can put the Dropbox link in there. Anytime you email back and forth with a client, you can attach it to that client so that you can look up a client and see all the emails that they ever sent to anybody within your organization.
That's a solid CRM. I like it.
Yeah. And so if they, you got to sign this email, they didn't have to send you another email explaining what the hell you were supposed to do with it or find all the emails to forward to you. You could just go look it up.
I'll add this one to my list because I have not heard of this one, and
I love it.
It will probably be my new program for the week. I have a new one every week because literally in this business, when we're looking at all of these different softwares, I have to learn a new one every single week or I'm not up to date.
And see, that's what's funny is when I get a new client date, a lot of the times they'll have different systems. And I had one seriously change systems like every 3 weeks. And so I got to learn all sorts of cool stuff, which kind of made my head spin. But
Carbon, I'll look it up. All right. Well, last thoughts about project management.
Mine or yours?
Yours.
I went to school for accounting in college, and I never finished, which is fine because I don't want to work in a firm with people. So, and have to wear nice pants. There seems to
be a running theme here about you and people. I don't know.
Yeah, like I talk a lot. You wouldn't figure I'm introverted, but I'm going to go spend like half an hour quiet time after this. So it's probably knit something. I don't know. But while I was doing that, I had to get project management certified. And I hated every second of it because I thought it was kind of dumb that they had project managers to make up steps to do things. And then they had to call it certain things and they had all this weird terminology.
Oh, and then
well,
sweet summer child.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, you know what? This is actually important. So yeah, I guess that was a good thing that I did.
Because that's the thing you've kept and used forever and ever.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I can classify your expenses if you want me to. I've done that for people with like YNAB was a great tool for tracking expenses. 1-800-accounting will not do bookkeeping even if you pay them to. So you still end up having to do all that stuff. So yeah, I can do that. But the project management, which had nothing to do with accounting, is what I ended up keeping. And the class that I hated the most, besides marketing, which, oh my gosh, I also do sometimes, are the ones that I kept.
And I think this is why sometimes we should maybe wait to go to college for a few years, possibly. I don't know.
This was 5 years ago.
So this one.
I went to college. Well, I did half a semester out of high school, and I joined the Army. And then I got married and had my son. And then I went back when I was 29, but I was pregnant with my daughter. And then so I finally went back again a few years ago and ended up being promoted to area manager for this chain of retail mattress stores and was just working outrageous amounts every week and
And
finish.
that college degree, yeah, I know. This path is circuitous for a lot of us.
Yeah.
I decided not to pursue my degree in anthropology when I determined that anthropology was mostly politics in grody clothes in the dirt.
Yeah. Or teaching in a class full of kids who don't want to be there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Either way, it was not my bag.
No.
And here I am.
Yeah. It's so funny where, like, I don't know, people should just do college when they're like 35 because you don't know. Even
You don't know.
There's no. It's just go learn a trade, do something else, and then spend the money on school later on. When you have credit and can get student loans that you're actually going to repay too. So.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Yet another project that needs to be managed, college. The greatest project to manage, and we're asking 18-year-olds to do it. My husband informed me that colleges are now teaching life skills for no credit, and I'm like, no, why not credit? Like, seriously, we're not teaching kids any of this stuff in high school. They should be learning it in college, and they should be getting credit for it because they need to know.
We have my son, his freshman year of high school, he's a sophomore now. He did take a class with life skills in it, and one of them was budgeting. And so
we're making some progress then.
Well, so here's what my 14-year-old did. So because they had to think up a family, and then in their budgeting, they had to account for like their spouse's clothes and things like that. He goes, I'm gay, I'm married to a dude, and he doesn't work and he stays at home. So all he needs to buy is like a pair of jeans and a t-shirt every year. And that was his clothing allowance. I'm like, this does not help because this is not real. So
we'll give you points for creativity, I guess. Like,
yeah, and they didn't have kids, they only had dogs. So we still have veterinary expenses, so there. But yeah, so that was like his whole focus, because he's a 14-year-old boy, was on getting out of most of the assignment and not learning.
And not actually learning the life skills. So there we go. This is why we should, I don't know. And that's why you and I get paid obscene amounts of money to manage projects for people. And there we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And thank you for joining me this week, Emily. I had a great time.
Thank you.
Come back the next time your systems change, because inevitably they will.
Oh, they will. I'll pick up a new client and we'll use something else, and I'll talk to you about that.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye now.